Hello, everybody. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? It's finally happened. A brand new Destroy All Humans game. It's been so long. It's been so long. So many years of wondering, will they make a new game? What's happened to the franchise? Is it dead? Who owns the rights? And now we're here with a brand new game on the horizon. I can't quite believe it, I can't. Except I can. I can believe it because I have been searching the internet far and wide for information to make a little video about. I don't usually do videos like these, kind of gaming news related ones, but I figured since the franchise is so close to my heart and it's so connected to my YouTube channel, some of my most viewed videos are of Destroy Humans and Destroy Humans 2. I thought it made sense. It felt right just to do a little recap of the announcement and what's kind of come out so far. There's not much information out because it's only just been announced, but I thought I'd just kind of go over some little bits and bobs I found looking at different sections on the website, on the Twitter, on the YouTube videos, and putting it all in one place because I know so many of you guys are big fans of the games as well and you might like to see it. That being said, you might already know a lot of the stuff I'm about to say, but I just thought I'd make it anyway. So let's get started. What is there? Well, obviously there's going to be a brand new game. At the moment, it's slated for a 2020 release. Now, I've heard in other videos that actually it's going to be early 2020 for a release. So you could be looking at maybe only 6 months-ish to wait until it comes out. However, I'm a little bit dubious about that. I think it's more likely going to be by early 2020. They mean probably around this time next year. And I say that mainly because in a few places they've mentioned about it being the 15th anniversary. The 15th anniversary of the original game. And the original game came out on the 21st of June 2005. So if it's actually going to match up to the month of the 15th anniversary, it will be June 2020. And to be honest, I think 6 months, 7 months is still a bit too soon for me because as you'll see later on, there's some pre-alpha footage. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's still pre-alpha. So yeah, I'm going to guess around about June-ish next year for a release, and it's going to release first on PC. It's going to be on a PC, and then it's going to come out afterwards on PS4 and Xbox One. But yeah, interestingly, premieres on PC. Myself, I'm probably going to get it on PlayStation. I feel like I just like playing. I've played the other ones on console, so I think I might stick to that. But PC could also look very pretty as well. And one more thing to note about the game is that it's made in Unreal Engine 4, which is why it looks so pretty, as we'll see in just a moment. But yeah, that's kind of some very basic details about the game. We don't obviously have a proper release date yet, but that's my guess. On to who's making it. We know who's publishing it, but who's making the damn thing? Well, it's a developer called Black Forest Games. They're a German video game developer. They started in 2012. In 2017, they became a subsidiary of THQ Nordic. And yeah, they seem like pretty cool guys. I've looked on their website, looked on their Twitter. They seem very sort of personable and down to earth. Very German, as you could tell by the announcement trailer featuring Rammstein. But yeah, in terms of games already under their belt, Black Forest Games, they have a few. It's definitely a mixed bag though, and some weirder games as well that you probably never heard of, since they are still quite a new developer. They've got ones like the Guyana Sisters Twisted Dreams, which is a platform game that got quite good scores. That got about 80% on Metacritic. They've done other ones called Rogue Stormers, which is a fantasy action game. Not as good, but I don't know, 69% on Metacritic. But then, yeah, they've also got ones like Bubsy. I remember Bubsy. I recognise it. It's like a sort of old school game mascot, kind of a failed one. Bubsy, The Woolies Strike Back. That was another platform game that got 45% on Metacritic. And also Fade to Silence, which is a survival game they made quite recently, and that got about 57% on Metacritic. So, yeah, kind of a mixture. You got the sort of 5 out of 10s going up to the 8 out of 10s, which can't really base anything on that, to be honest. I just thought I'd include it as a bit of background. I have hope, I have faith, but yeah, we'll see. So that's just some of the games they've made in the past. Let's have a look at some of the footage from the pre-alpha version that was playable at E3 this year. They had a little developer do a little bit of talk, a little bit of a Q&A as they showed some in the background. And, I mean, yeah, it looks great. I know it is very early days, and a lot of people are saying, oh, well, why doesn't it do this? Why is it not more destructible, you know, the housing and the buildings and things? But to be honest, all I care about right now is that it just has the right vibe. And to me, it does have the right vibe. You know, it's colourful, it's nice and saturated. It's so different from loads of games you get these days where they're, you know, grey and miserable and brown and devoid of colour. This is so bright, and okay, it's a little bit like the quality we're seeing right now is obviously not perfect because this is captured from another capture and it's just a screen grab of it. But yeah, like the way they've remodeled the figures there, like the human characters, the army men. It's very kind of cartoony, and I think it actually works really well for this sort of game. Because let's be honest, it's a very silly, stupid game. If they'd have went for a sort of ultra-realistic look, or at least more realistic, it just wouldn't have worked. So they got a good middle ground, I feel like, with the style of it anyway. And, you know, the movement of the saucer looks good. Looks really smooth and clean. It all just looks really crisp and clean, which is what you're going to get with a remake, isn't it, I suppose? But yeah, the UI looks nice. That's probably going to change, though. There is a bit of stuttering here and there, but I'm going to blame that on the pre-alpha-ness of it. But yeah, what you're seeing right now is obviously the very first part of the game where you're on the farm, taking on some of the forces. But yeah, just look, it just looks nice, and I'm really pleased so far. It's very little we've seen, but I'm pleased with it. A lot of people are saying, you know, some things look a bit funny, like these agents coming up, walking out of the car. They look a little bit odd. Possibly, yeah, here they are, but possibly. But I just account that to the cartoony style, which for me works. Yeah, that guy's face. And here's some footage from earlier on in the mission, actually, but it shows some on-ground gameplay with Crypto. And yeah, you can really get an idea of just how different yet familiar the gameplay is. And I thought I'd just go over some of the differences that the developers have said they've made so far anyway, and what things are actually remaining the same. So the devs on Twitter are very clear. They were very clear to point out in some responses that it is a complete remake. It's not a remaster, so it's built from the ground up. That being said, the original sound files are being used. So you're going to have your same voice acting. You're going to have Richard Stephen Horvitz. You're going to have Invader Zim. You're going to have, what's his name, J. Grant Albrecht or something as Crypto, you know, Jack Nicholson-like. That's all going to be the same. However, they are actually going to contact the original voice actors maybe to get some extra dialogue for some extra stuff they add into the game. So that's quite good. It means that they're, you know, going back to the original sources and not trying to get some fake knockoff voices like in Path of the Furon, which I did not like. Definitely not. But in terms of what is different, well, you can really see it on screen right now. The quality is not great. I'm sorry, it's quite pixelated and stuff, but the movement, it just feels a lot faster and it feels a lot more fluid. Kind of aerial combat skills as you're jetpacking. Psychic skills can be used in tandem with weapons, and also sort of some more psychokinesis abilities, which is nice. Like you can see Crypto can dash. He's got this sort of boost forward now. He can also skate, I think they call it, where you sort of glide on the ground using your jetpack, so you go super fast. You can lock onto enemies. It just makes it all really smooth and a lot more fast and fun, it looks like. Kind of crazier as well, definitely on screen, just everything happening all at once, which I think suits it well. What else have I seen that they've mentioned? We have extra content in terms of a cut-out mission from the original game in Area 52. Apparently there was a lost mission there. They're bringing that back. They have done mocap for all of the cutscenes, which is really surprising. But yeah, apparently they've mocapped all the cutscenes, so animation should be a lot more, realistic maybe, or at least less janky, which can definitely be said for some of the original cutscenes in the game. There's just some really kind of ugly-looking ones. So that's good. And the mission flow has been slightly updated just to make it all run a bit better. Okay, I think we're actually going on to footage I've already used now, but oh well. Yeah, they've taken a lot of things from Destroy All Humans 2 and brought them back into the first game, which makes a lot of sense because Pandemic Studios did that originally. They refined all of their mechanics in the second game. So I think one of them, what they mentioned was they're actually changing the way hollow bobbing looks. I think it's going to function the same because you had hollow bobbing in Destroy Humans 1 and you had body snatching in Destroy Humans 2. And the impression I got from what the guy said was hollow bobbing is going to look more like body snatching in the first game now, where you sort of like maybe tap the button and like slowly take them over. But then you're still going to have that ghost form of them, possibly. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, there's some other things like making the UFO move up and down, which you couldn't do originally. You can now have vertical movement with that. And also transmogging items to get ammunition. So that's kind of all the stuff I've found so far. Lots of new stuff, but still some old things carrying on, which is good to see. So yeah, there's all that. If you have a look at the website, the official website for the game, there's a few more bits of information you can get from here, especially visually. But the website looks so great. You've got this kind of hovering crypto here, and it's so, yeah, just colourful and fun to go on, but also a bit laggy. Anyway, yeah, you have the trailer. We have some stuff here. We got a little bit of a blurb for the game. So, as it says here, the cult classic returns, terrorize the people of 1950s Earth in the role of the evil alien Crypto 137. There's also another section, if you go back, one part I really like the look of, I think it's a little bit further down. I'm going to come back to the screenshots in just a moment, but it is here under the propaganda, which is almost like a press release section of the site. If we have a look, I love the look of this page. I love all these old style adverts and things, giving all my love, new single out now, and Uranium Blast. These are just great. I hope we're going to see a lot of this sort of stuff in the game. It reminds me of Fallout, actually. But yeah, if we have a look at this this post here on the propaganda, resistance is futile. So yeah, here we go. Pathetic humans, prepare to be destroyed again. Destroy Humans returns in all new glory to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and premieres on PC. It's a complete remake of the 2005 cult classic using the mighty Unreal Engine 4 to give new and old fans the best looking invasion of Earth ever. So yeah, it's keeping the unique 50s alien invasion story and legendary dialogue full of quirky humour. And what we're carefully updating, Crypto's more agile than ever, his aerial combat skills improved, his psychic skills can now be used in glorious unison with his guns, and the new psychokinesis. Ever wondered what would happen if a Jedi had a love child with the Goat Simulator? You're welcome for that mental image. Destroy Humans, blah blah blah. It's scheduled to release in 2020, marking the 15th anniversary of the Destroy Humans series. There you go. So yeah, exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Let's head over to the screenshots because I want to show you some of these very, very nice looking things. Here are all the nice high quality screenshots from the website. They're not all in-game screenshots obviously, but I thought I'd just flip through them and point out anything that stands out to me. And they are very nice as well. They're so colourful, look at them. So here we have Crypto running through Turnip Seed Farm. Nothing really to point out, just yeah, it's just really nice and detailed I suppose, and so different from the original game. Let's carry on. There is Crypto is that Rockwell, I'm guessing. Again, not much to point out, but I guess, Jetpack looks different slightly maybe, and well, in fact the whole model of Crypto has been slightly improved, I'd say. There he is in the saucer using the death ray. Some nice detail on, burning the tree. I do wonder how much environmental destruction we'll have and the graphics we'll have for it, but that's promising. Some nice fire and smoke there. And a lovely background as well. Look at the sun. Is that setting, rising? Who knows? Here we have Crypto in the Funfair at Rockwell, and it's quite, it looks great. I love the bright lights of the stalls in the background there as he's being shot at, but I love the lighting of the Zappomatic reflecting on his face, and I think if you can see right at the very back there, is my cursor on screen? Can you see my cursor? Right here, that looks to me like a collectible. Looks like one of the sort of probes that you collect. And I think that's actually where it is in the original game, more or less, in one of the stalls. So, yeah, definitely will be collectibles in this game as well. There is Pox, good old Pox, looking lovely. Not really much else to say. There's Crypto in, is that Santa Modesta? Or is that Area 42? I think it's probably Santa Modesta. So yeah, here he is using the Zap-O-Matic. Just looks nice. That poor person getting zapped alive. Here's Crypto using his psychic abilities, telekinesis. Nice kind of, I think that's different, having the blue outline around things that you're psychokinesising, teleporting, and his brain looks like it's sort of glowing pink as well. The cow has a very expressive face, which is nice to see. I think that's one thing that they could really improve upon, is kind of expressions and animations particularly. Moving on, we have... Oh yes, this is what I was mentioning about earlier. I think holobobbing is now you're gonna kind of do holobobbing in the same way you did body snatching, where you sort of like have that ray of energy kind of go towards them. You have to tap to do it. That kind of looks like what's happening here as he holobobs this cowboy or whatever this guy is. Yeah, it looks nice though. And here we see, the dash, sprint, boost mechanic as he boosts right into a shotgun. Probably not the wisest idea there, but yeah, looks nice and cool. But yeah, looks pretty cool. And finally here for the kind of game screenshots we have Crypto outside of a nice alien toilet. It's so nice of them to make toilets just for the aliens. There you go, nice little gag there. And that's obviously Santa Modesta. Again, he's being shot at by a policeman down there. And then finally we have some concept art as well. Just, not amazing to look at, but it's just, kind of nice, I guess. There's a farmhouse. There's a Funfair shooting gallery. You even get the little bits on the bottom of the screen there. There's Lou's Diner from Santa Modesta, looking very 50s indeed. The radar building. And then some concept art for Crypto. I love this sort of stuff. I just love concept art. Oh, I think you've also got some weapons here. Really nice to look at. You've got some disintegrator array back there. You've got Zap-O-Matic, got the anal probe, and I'm guessing that one in the bottom right is the ion detonator. Looks a bit like that. And this next one, more weapons. I figured, what on earth are these ones? I don't remember many more weapons from the game. Not ones that look like those. But this is where, doing a little bit of digging, you find out more, because the file name for this picture is actually, concept art weapons Majestic. So these are the Majestic's weapons, I assume, that the enemies are going to hold. Maybe. Who knows? You got, some scary looking ones there. But yeah, and finally, just a nice little wallpaper or something to use there. Lovely stuff. Might be that could be like the box art, couldn't it, really? But yeah, that's it for the screenshots. That's kind of it overall, really. Just scrolling down my Word doc, make sure I've not missed anything. Oh yeah, one more thing. If we cut back over to the website and you look at the order section, the order now section, you can get, choose your preferred platform of primitive human gaming technology, PC, PS4 and Xbox. PS4 and Xbox are not out yet, but you can go onto the PC one and it says select edition, and then standard edition takes you to Steam, and it is on Steam. That just kind of made me think, if they're having a section which says standard, are they going to have some sort of special edition? Are they going to have any sort of pre-order bonus? Maybe, collector's edition would be sweet. But just something to keep an eye on, especially since someone asked them on Twitter as well. They asked Black Forest Games, and I think they replied with no info on that at the moment. Sorry, smiley face. So there could be something there to look out for, some sort of special edition. They also asked on Twitter someone about whether there's going to be a beta, and I think they said they'll keep them tuned, but nothing yet. And I guess the thing that's really important to note is that if this does well, which I really do hope it will, I'm definitely going to buy it and play it on the channel. But if it does well, they might do the same thing for the second game, and then who knows, maybe they'll do it for a brand new game as well. But just something to bear in mind. If you're a fan of this franchise, then definitely go out and buy this game. next year. Because I sound like a spokesperson. I'm not being paid for this. I swear. But honestly, if you are a fan, you have to show them with your money. Like that's the best way of showing that you actually want more of it. It's sad, but it's true. They're going to care about the money. So if it makes money, they'll make more. This might be the first game I would ever get a collector's edition of. Who knows if there even is going to be a thing. But yeah, that kind of does it, I think, for now. If there's any more information that you find out, please do leave it in the comments below. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this, obviously, until it comes out. So I'm sure lots more things are going to be released as the pre-alpha continues. And yeah, we get closer to the final release. So yeah, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.